Hi, it's Tree here and welcome to my Frugal Living weekly podcast. This week I want to talk to you about how my family and I save money when we're doing our grocery shopping. So I find shopping can be quite a traumatic experience at the best of times, but when you are watching your pennies and have a budget, all those sneaky supermarket tricks can make it really hard not to steer off course and lead you to spend more money than you had budgeted for. So I thought I would share with you some ways that I save money when I go and do my supermarket shopping. So the first one I want to talk to you about is pre-packed food. I generally don't buy pre-packed fruit and vegetables unless of course they've been reduced and they're obviously cheaper. But I prefer to buy them loose at the supermarket as this is going to work out a lot cheaper and of better value. But that's only if I do buy them at the supermarket. Now I like to use my local market, which will work out a lot cheaper. They have buckets or big bowls of fruit and vegetables, and you get a lot more for your money, and they're a lot cheaper as well. So I'm quite proud to say that I actually bought a box of bananas last year from the greengrocer at the local market, and I paid only £5 for. It was 18.1 kilograms of bananas. And if you want to know how many bananas they were in there, I'll be honest, they were small bananas, but I actually got 167 bananas for £5. So, if you go to the market, you can get a deal. But we also have an allotment, and once everything is all growing and we've got a big abundance of it, we do rely on that quite a lot. So I don't necessarily, unless of course it's in the winter, buy a lot of fruit and vegetables from the supermarket. But like I say, if I'm going to buy them from the supermarket, I tend not to buy them pre-packaged unless of course they've been reduced. Another way I like to save money when I do my shopping at the supermarket is with ready meals. And I'm going to be honest, I have in the past bought ready meals, but now because we live frugally, I have it as part of my one of my rules is never to buy ready meals. Ready meals are just full of rubbish. They're full of chemicals, full of junk. I don't see any good nutritional value about them. But of course, they are costly. They're very expensive. You can make what you're buying so much cheaper. In fact, I reckon you could make a whole meal for at least four for one ready meal. So I steer clear of the ready meals. Another way you can save money when you do your shopping at the supermarket is buying cheaper cuts of meat. So if you buy neck, shin, thighs from the chicken, chump, or the offal if you like to eat offal, they're all cheaper parts of the animal. And you're going to get more for your money and you're going to spend less money. But of course there is a downside with these cuts of meat. They are a little tougher. They've come from the part of the animal that's had more wear and tear, and they're more of a tougher meat. So you're going to need to cook them slowly on a lower heat and for longer. But of course, that's not to say they're not delicious. I'm going to say that when I used to eat meat, yes, it is very delicious. And I do this for my family because they still eat meat. And these are the cuts of meat that I generally do buy to make lots of lovely, tasty recipes with them, especially a lovely, tasty casserole. I've already mentioned briefly just a minute ago about the market, your local market. If you have got a local market near you selling your fruit and vegetables, and if you've got a market that is selling meat as well, you will find that you will be able to get these products a lot cheaper there. I've already mentioned that about the fruit and vegetables. And I've already mentioned about the bananas. But of course, at Christmas, I also, from my local market, I managed to get a 12 kilogram sack of carrots for £5. But before I went and bought that 5 kilogram of carrots, I'd already worked out in my head how much it was going to cost me to buy individual bags of carrots from the supermarket. And I found out the cheapest at the time, but I still managed to save money by buying a big bag of carrots. And of course, it wasn't just because it was Christmas. To go with the Christmas dinner, I was able to make carrot and coriander soup. We even made a carrot cake. We made lots of recipes that were incorporating carrots, but of course carrots, vegetables with their dinner. So some other deals that I've got at the market that I just thought I'd mention was that on one occasion I managed to get 3 large cucumbers for £1 and a big bowl of mushrooms for £2. So that was 2 kilograms of mushrooms for £2. Now I think that's jolly cheap. And of course that went into all sorts of mushroom recipes, like mushroom soup. One of my favourites is mushroom stroganoff, and of course putting mushrooms in with all sorts of things like casseroles and in curries, and they were lovely. And of course I went for a lovely nice fry up breakfast as well. So to help us save money when we're doing shopping, we like to buy in bulk. So there's a lot of things that you can buy in bulk. So for example, your washing powder, dried pasta, rice, potatoes. Now with potatoes, we like to buy a big 25 kilogram sack of potatoes. We generally get those from the local farm, and they're a lot cheaper. We're able to get a sack of potatoes for £5.99, so that's about £6. So we think that's quite cheap, and it's also it's a lot better value. So I find that buying in bulk means that there's less trips to the shops, and there's less opportunities for you to impulse buy. I will just quickly say on impulse buying, that's what they want you to do at the supermarket. They want you to spend more money than you had bargained for. Another way that I save money on my shopping at the supermarket is looking for bargains. Now with bargains, I absolutely love to sniff those ones out. I love to go through the reduced aisle. You tend to find the items reduced at certain times of the day at your supermarket. Now my local supermarket does reduce items early in the morning, about 9 o'clock. They start reducing them. But of course those items that have been reduced in the morning, if there's any left by the time they get to the afternoon, they obviously reduced even more, so you'll get them a lot cheaper in the afternoon. But you've got to weigh up whether you actually gonna go in the morning to get more of a choice, but you're going to be paying a bit more, but obviously it is still reduced. But if you wait till maybe later in the afternoon to about 4 or 5 o'clock, there may still be items from the morning on the shelf, but obviously even more reduced. They reduce them several times in a day depending on what they've got left. But of course there's nothing wrong in buying items that are reduced, that are on a sell by date that day. Just quite simply pop them in the freezer if they're suitable for freezing when you get home. So this next one I'm going to suggest, now I really should have put this at the beginning because this is absolutely the most important way that you can save money. It's vital when you go shopping at the supermarket, and that is your shopping list. That will stop you from doing impulse buys. Having a shopping list will help stop you from impulse buying. It'll also keep you on track. And the importance of having a shopping list is that you will have done your meal planning for the week, and you would have done that shopping list according to your meals for the week. So you know exactly what you've got to buy and how you should have an idea of how much it's going to cost you. You can quite easily work out roughly how much it's going to cost going on the supermarkets websites and looking for the prices. Another way you can save money when you're doing your shopping is by downshifting. That excellent idea from Martin Lewis doing his downshift challenge. I have to say I was hooked when I heard this and read it years ago. Some of those basic products are just as good as those premium ones. In fact, I think they taste better and they perform better, whatever it is that you're using. However, I find there are some products that aren't worth scrimping on, such as laundry detergent. Now, I find with laundry detergent, if you buy the very cheapest basic, I don't always think that it gets the washing clean, and it's not going to be cost effective and economical if you need to wash say your children's school clothes because they're covered in mud or dirt, paint, ink, whatever it is. If you're going to need to wash them several times with a cheaper washing powder, you really aren't saving money. You're not saving money on the washing powder, you're not saving money on your electric, and you're not saving money on your water if you're on a metered water bill. So I do have an exception to washing powder and a couple of other items, and that is I always buy the best that I can afford at the time, whether that be a top brand because I've got it with coupons or using shopping apps to get money back, or whether they are on a special deal. However I do it, but I always try to use the best that I can get. I will just quickly put in a plug-in about soap nuts. Now that's quite an eco-friendly way to do your washing. Now I have got soap nuts, and I do use soap nuts as a reserve in my house, and they are very good at getting your clothes clean. They might seem like an expensive product to buy initially, but they last so long, and they do, I will stress, they do get your clothes clean. So I was just talking there about coupons and the shopping apps. I use them. I use both of those to help save money on my shopping. But of course, before I use a shopping app or a coupon, I do like to make sure that what I'm buying is the best value. I'm not necessarily going to buy an item with a coupon, for example, if I can get the product somewhere else, or a similar product cheaper without even using the coupon. So I tend to find that you've got to do your homework before you use a coupon, because it might not necessarily be the best value. So I'd just like to mention this one. My husband and my children have been barred from coming shopping with me now. I used to take my husband and children shopping with me, and I will say it was my husband particularly. And I was finding that treats and unnecessary purchases were being stealthily placed in the trolley without me noticing, and then snuck onto the conveyor belt without me noticing, and then hidden into bags, or they'd go through and be scanned at the till, and I'd suddenly find them rolling down the little aisle towards the shopping bags to be packed away. And if I wasn't careful, they would be snuck into bags, and I wouldn't notice them until I was putting the shopping away at home. But of course, this was upping my shopping bill, and it was not necessary. It was something that we couldn't afford. And so I had to take drastic action, and I had to bar my husband and I had to bar my children from coming shopping with me. But of course, on the plus side, if you haven't got them with you, it's going to be a lot quicker and obviously a lot cheaper, and it's going to be a lot quieter because you haven't got children pestering and people pestering for things that they want. So it's so much easier. There's a couple of other bits I just want to quickly mention when you're buying in bulk with your shopping. Firstly, do remember to store everything properly. Of course, if you've got your big sacks of potatoes, remember to store them in a cool, dry place. I put mine in my shed, and that helps keep them in good condition. But of course, you can put other bits and pieces. So like if you bought a large bag of lentils or whatever it is, or beans, dried beans, you can put them in airtight containers, or those Ziploc plastic bags are very useful for storing all sorts of bits and pieces. So if you're lucky enough to be able to get some good reduced items at the supermarket, or if you've gone to your local market and you've been able to get a big lot of fruit and vegetables there, or meat, don't forget that you can preserve these items. Pop them in the freezer. Make jams or pickles. So for example, if you've been able to get a large amount of strawberries from the supermarket, from the reduced aisle, or a big box of them from the market cheap, make some jam with them. That would be absolutely excellent idea on how to use them up. The same with cucumbers. Maybe make some pickled cucumbers if you were able to get a large lot of cucumbers. Obviously, if you're able to get a big bag of meats, whatever it is, some chicken, sausages, whatever it is that you're going to get reduced, pop it in the freezer. That's a good way to preserve it. And if you're not going to use it all straight away. And making pickles, absolutely lovely. Making pickles and chutneys with this stuff. So it's not a case of just being able to use the stuff straight away. You can preserve it in some way to make your purchases last longer and to save you money when you do your shopping. Anyway, I hope those few ideas have been of some use to you and how we do shopping in our house. If you want to know more, head over to the Frugal Living website. I'll put the link below in the description bar for that one. If you want to join all the discussions on Frugal Living, you can go over to the Frugal Living Weekly Podcast Facebook page, or you can go over to the Frugal Living Facebook page as well. So there's two there for you. But also Frugal Living is on Tumblr, Twitter, Google+, and you can see all the lovely Frugal Living pictures over on Instagram. So if this podcast has been of some use to you, please press the like button and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget you can subscribe to Frugal Living and all things Frugalista. Anyway, until next time, take care, bye.